everybody, and welcome to the final part of Mutti Plays Pokemon Crystal version. Today we are going to start off talking to Bill's grandpa and showing him various Pokemon. Why am I doing this? Well, if you show him a Lickitung, he will give you an Everstone. And after showing him the Lickitung, if you show him an Oddish, he will give you a Leaf Stone. Though, personally, I prefer using a Sunstone to evolve Oddish, because I just think Bellossom is cuter and prettier than Vileplume. But, whatever floats your boat. And next up, after showing him the Oddish, if you show him a Staryu, he will give you a Water Stone, which would be quite useful if you're trying to check out everything there is to check out in front of, well, in the Ruins of Alph. Bit of a note, Lickitung can only be caught during the day. Oddish can only be caught during the night, as with Staryu. And after showing him a Staryu, if you show him a Growlithe, it might be a Vulpix if you're playing Silver. He will give you a Firestone, which is very, very useful. And I do believe that just after I had evolved my Arcanine, I went to him and... but next up, the final one, after showing him a Growlithe or possibly Vulpix, he will describe to you Pikachu, but he wants to see Pichu. Like, he describes it as, he describes Pikachu, and then, I'd like to see that Pokemon before it evolves, and he means Pichu, and it took me a few times to figure out what he meant. Derp-dee-doo. But, showing him a Pichu will get you a Thunderstone, and now that we have those stones, time to go back to the Ruins of Alph to check out the last couple of back rooms, so that we can see everything. This room right here, the one where you have to use strength in the back part of Union Cave in order to reach it, you will need a Water Stone and lots of goodies that are good for selling. Well, yay! Stardust! Woohoo! And down here, they possess great insight and refuse the outside world. And after that, over here, the one that you just have to get by the hiker, this is the room where you need to have Ho-Oh in your party in order to get into the back room. And you need to have Ho-Oh as the first Pokemon in your party. So, you can't just have it in your party and expect the thing to work. But now that Ho-Oh's the first Pokemon, instant access, and time to gather up some goodies. And damn it, my bag's full! Yay! Goldberry, very good. Nowadays it would be called a citrus berry, I believe. Mystery berry, the old version of a Alola berry. Charcoal, pretty good if you've got a fire-type Pokemon, though I do believe I already have a Charcoal at this point. And a Revival Herb. Revives your Pokemon completely, but it tastes bitter, so it's going to ruin your it's gonna kill your trust value a little. We humans must learn to walk in harmony with them. We depart for their sakes. Live in harmony with who? But now that we are done with the ruins of Elf, it is time to explore Mount Silver. Once you step in, you're gonna need to use Flash. And a bit of a note about the layout of this area. Things are so very different from this version and the remakes. Like, in this version, the path is fairly similar. I mean, not similar. Linear. You just go forward through the rock cave floor places, and any place that doesn't take you to the back tends to lead you to treasure. But if you are playing the remakes, Mount Silver is where you will find yourself a Moltres, Generation 1's fire-flying bird. And I do believe you will need Waterfall, and when you enter Silver Cave, it should be in the general direction of the pond, or whatever you want to call it, that's on the left side. But after that, I cannot tell you much about the Silver Cave, except that in the remakes you actually step outside a little bit when you're climbing the mountain. So yeah, quite the difference in layout. And invisible item down here, an Ultra Ball, which would be nice if you're trying to catch Pokemon still, or if you just want to keep yourself stocked up in case of shiny. So many wild Pokemon! So many wild Pokemon! And here was the part where I was utterly confused as to what was and wasn't the way forward, because it has been so long since I've actually played through to this part in the game. At least on the original version, so I might be doubling back quite a bit. And gosh dang it, I should have emptied out my pack before I came here. Oh my gosh, but ooh, a PP up. That is wonderful. Good for maxing out the amount of times you can use a move before you run out of stuff and have to use struggle. But like, it was the cave there that made me confused, because I thought the cave meant I was going forward. But yeah. Much more confusion on my part than was necessary for such a linear dungeon. Wonderful, wonderful Golduck, and going back to that little cave. And up the waterfall to explore the goodies in this cave. And, interesting little thing, you're gonna run into Parasect in this cave. Ooh, Max Revive! Yay! Awesome item. Revives instantly with full health. And now that we are done with that distraction, time to actually move forward to this part of the area, and up and up and up. Can't get to that watery part at the top, but we should be able to surf over here. And gigantic waterfall that made me think, and I'm being silly. Yeah. And up this waterfall, and let's see what's what goodies are in store for us over here. There's a little bitty cave over there. Here we have a calcium. Good for... What was that good for? I think it's special attack, maybe? Ooh, full restore, another great item. Fully restores HP while healing any status conditions that might be on the Pokemon. Confusion, attraction, or paralyzed, poison, burn, sleep, that, all sorts of things. And now we go here. Yay, invisible. Ooh, this is a Misdreavus, or Misdreavus, however you want to pronounce it. It is a ghost type, so it is weak to dark and ghost attacks. I do believe that it is the first pure ghost Pokemon, since the Ghastly family is ghost poison. Quite a pretty little thing. I think it's modeled after a Banshee. And it likes to startle Pokemon. Well, startle people. And taking the effort to catch it because the sprite art in this game makes it look kind of pretty. Especially with how that pink contrasts with the purple that they're using. Very pretty. And yay, being blind to letters. And now that Misdreavus has been caught, into the final chamber. Ran into a Golbat right there, and over up to here. Ooh, I wonder who this guy is. Let's save before we talk to him. Because I have a feeling that, no matter who this guy is, things are gonna be epic. Well, I'm at a few words, I see. What is his... oh my, that, my friends, if you were, if you just came into Pokemon around Gen 5 and haven't had the chance to explore the older generations, is Pokemon Trainer Red the first player avatar you ever had in the Pokemon series? And seeing as Gold, Silver, and Crystal took place in the generation after the generation where Pokemon started, this was quite the surprise to those of us who were playing as the games originally came out, because the final boss in this game is the guy you were playing as in the last game, which was amazing. But, though the character himself is pretty neat, the team, I'm not sure if this is just because of, seeing the, anime, or cartoon show, whatever you want to call it, where, every season Ash catches the 3 starters of flying Pokemon, and, still has his Pikachu with the 6th being a wild card or something. I haven't been watching, the Unova part of this show, but, from what I heard, he has been switching out his 6th Pokemon, which is quite refreshing. And, but, anyways. So, because that it might seem a bit generic, that, this trainer, he has a Pikachu, which, in yellow version was considered a starter because, well, you started with Pikachu. because apparently all Oak had that day was an Eevee, and your rival was a douche and took it before you could claim it, even though I do believe it was clearly written so that you were the one that was actually supposed to get first dibs. But oh well, you got the Pikachu that Oak caught right in the route north of Pallet Town, even though Pikachu cannot be caught there. Huzzah! Pushing things to make things match the show. But yeah, Red has Pokemon in their 80s, and he's got a Pikachu, a Snorlax, a Charizard, a Blastoise, a Venusaur, and depending on whether you're playing the older version or the remakes, his 6th Pokemon will be an Espeon or a Lapras. Espeon will be the one you will have to deal with in the older version of the game, whereas Lapras is what you get to fight in the newer version. So, yay! And do excuse me, I need to take a drink. Now, while this epic battle is going on, I shall ramble on a little bit about, remake goodies. After you beat Red in the remakes, if you go talk to Professor Oak, he will let you choose one of the Kanto starters. And if you go to Silphco and talk to Steven, he will let you choose from one of the Hoenn starters, though Steven's is a bit less straightforward. He asks you to pick a certain colored stone, and he gives you the Pokemon whose type corresponds to the color. There's a red stone for Torchic, a blue stone for Mudkip, and a green stone for Trico. Another thing you could do, depending on the version, you could capture Groudon or Kyogre over in the new area they introduced in order to give us the Safari Zone again in this area. And if you catch both of them, though you're going to need to trade from somebody else's game in order to get the other one, you can go back to that same cave where you caught Groudon or Kyogre and get yourself Rayquaza, which is pretty neat. And if you go over to Celadon City into the Celadon Mansion, after you beat all 8 Kanto gym leaders, you can get this item that looks like a Game Boy with a set of earphones plugged into it, called the GB Sounds, which you could activate to make the soundtrack play the Gen 2 version of the soundtrack instead of the Gen 4 remixes, which was pretty neat. Which was a pretty good treat for those of us who grew up with the older version. And there are honestly some tracks that I prefer in the Gen 2 version of it instead of the prettier sounding Gen 4 version. Like the Dragon's Den. In Gen 2, the music that was playing had this sort of harshness to it that I thought went well with the fact that it was, well, a Dragon's Den, but in Gen 4, was kind of changed to have more of a grand feel, I suppose would be a way to describe it. I don't know, I prefer the harsh sound over the grand sound. And let's see, any other tracks? Oh, yes, the track that plays in the Indigo Plateau and the Mount Silver routes, I honestly prefer the Gen 2 version to the Gen 4 version because I don't know, the Gen 4 version just feels really, really dull to me. Like, it's the same notes and everything, it's just, I don't know, the more electronic sounds of Gen 2 just made it sound better to me. Probably, again, liking that bit of harshness that was within the game, or the sound. And, any other places? The Pokeathlon thing that they added into Gen 2, it's a fine use of the touchscreen, I suppose. But, it just feels kinda tedious having to play through the sports a few times just to get enough points to be able to buy, an evolutionary stone. I know the stones are supposed to be, like, sort of rare, but especially in this day and age when there's going to be 700 something Pokemon come October, it feels a bit infuriating limiting the amount of evolutionary stones you can even get to less than as many as you'd need in order to be able to complete the Pokédex. And that's just... yeah. So, I am a bit, I do kind of miss how Gen 1 could just straight up let you buy the evolutionary stones, as long as you had the money. And, the, Safari Zone that they added into, the Gen 4 remakes, was pretty nice. It's got this thing where you can, customize the place so that you can only run into... well, you can only have areas that will let you run into Pokemon that you actually like. But, it's got this, mechanic where if you place items in, the Safari Zone, it'll attract Pokemon that wouldn't normally be there. Which is fine and all, but it takes days upon days for leaving the items to attract the right Pokemon. Like, if you want to attract a Gibble into the Safari Zone, you have to wait 100 days, which is like a fourth of a year. And since Gibble is a Gen 4 Pokemon, it'd just be a lot simpler to go play Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum and go to Wayward Cave to catch it. It's a lot less complicated and convoluted to catch it. And, one other thing I liked about, the Gen 2 remakes, I loved how, they pretty much put everything except, character movement onto the touchscreen in terms of controls. Which I was pretty impressed by, I'm the sort that doesn't mind touchscreen controls on DS games. In fact, I quite prefer them so long as they're using it right. Or making it feel like the touchscreen isn't just being used as a secondary screen. You can interact with it, why not use it, you know? So, I really liked it, being able to control almost every part of the game with the touchscreen, but, now that that part of my fascination has worn off, I don't think I'm as impressed by it anymore. Though, the Pokemon in the first slot of your party, was fairly cute. Following you around was fairly cute. I like that little touch. But, with that surf, we are done with Red. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play. I had fun making it, and I will be at a con for about a week. Well, I'll be out of town for about a week. And I will see you guys next time when I start up the next LP. See you guys then!